Yeah, so we're back, or I'm back. I'm going to be doing a review of the Calvinand Hobbes series of comic books. Well, I read books as a kid, and then somebody explained to me, no, like Garfield and Peanuts and Popeye and Asterix. No, those are not. But the Popeye and the Peanuts and the Garfield. Somebody explained to me, no, those are our newspaper comic strips. I'm like, oh really? Oh, I didn't know that. So, but I knew see because I knew them as these things. The authoritative. Well, this is the authoritative Calvin and Hobbes. I don't have any other one on me. I own this one. I own, I think, either something under the bed or my babysitter's an alien or something, or my babysitter two-headed. I don't know, whatever. One of those two. I don't remember which one. I don't know where those are. Don't ask me where the other ones are. But this one, I own this one. I have this one, and this everybody says quintessential. Like this is the quintessential comic book. You like comic books? This is what you should read because like a lot of them are like, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Because a lot of them, people say stuff like, ew, stuff like it's like what you want it to be as a 6-year-old kid. Because if it's like if you read like Peanuts and Garfield and that kind of stuff, you'll love this because this is very reminiscent of like, oh, so good, such a good book series. It's just like because it's got everything in it too. It's got like Spaceman Spiff and he does like what are they called? Black and white like crime movies. What do you call them? Espionage, whatever they're called. Where they have like the narrator and they're like trying to find whatever that's called. They have like Mrs. Wormwood where they're like he's a dinosaur and like he's a plane pilot. Oh, it's great, so good. And then if you yeah, so so great. And he always like talks about like the world and contemplates like life and he's like, oh, and he goes into these like deep conversations with Cobbs, and he's just like, "Oh, it's great, it's amazing," and then he's just like, "Oh," and then it just poofs into like he doesn't exist, like when his mom comes in or something. Oh wait. And then if you ever read the last comic strip, like this, okay, I thought the last comic strip was this one, but it's not. It's not. It's not. The real last one is this one. Okay, it's really really sad, but it's this one here. Can I zoom in somehow? I don't know if I can. Oh, it's not gonna work. I wish I could zoom in. Visit. Let's see. Oh, it's a Reddit. Okay. Yes, it's this one here. Oh, okay. Oh, it's like I don't know if you can read this, but it's this one here. He basically I don't know how you see it. No, you can't really see it. But anyway, I'll read it to you. He's in the snow and he goes. He says to Hobbes. He goes, "Wow, it really snowed last night. Isn't it wonderful? Everything familiar has disappeared. The world looks brand new. A new year, a fresh, clean start. It looks like no, it's like having a big white sheet of paper to draw on, a day full of possibilities." And then it pans over to like them getting ready to go on down the hill. So and then Calvin says, "It's a magical world, Hobbes. Oh, buddy." And the last one, it makes me cry every time I read this. Let's go exploring, and it's just this picture right here, right here. Oh no, go down. This right here. That's just sad. That's just really sad. It's like runs away. It's like that's just sad, okay? That's just really sad. When you think about it, that's insanely sad. But it's not as bad as the Fate one. That makes me cry up every time. I'm like, let's go exploring because it leaves it open to be like, you want to continue it? I can if I want. Because I believe Bill Watterson's still alive, so you can make a new one if you want. But he does like a few other ones too. But the last Calvin Hobbes comic strip, the fake one is where is it? This one. It's this one here. No, not this one. No, this one. This one's a fake one. And I thought for the longest time this was a real one, but it's not. Because I googled it one day and was like, oh, it's right here. It's wow, you're working on your Hobbs. Wow, you're working on your report. You're working on a report early. It's not due until Thursday. Yeah, I know. Mom says the pills I'm taking are starting to work. I thought we could go outside and play. It's snowing, Calvin. Oh, Oh, I'm sorry, what? Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening. Look, I really have to finish. And then it stops, and he becomes this. Because whenever Calvin was with Hobbes, it would never change. But because Hobbes, because he would never change to it like a thing unless like mom or dad was like back to a stuffed animal, unless mom and dad were, or someone was in the room with him. Ugh! I dropped that. Whoopsies. But this one decided to change while Calvin was there. It's even sadder because it's like, no, sorry, Hobbes, I don't care. Like, I'm taking the Ritalin. I don't care. It's like, wow. Okay, that's a little intense, but okay. Like that, I'd say a little intense. It's crazy. I mean, you can watch these on like I think it's called Go Comics or maybe Comixology. I'm not sure. I know you can watch them on certain different places. There's different places you can watch these read these comics now. Probably freecomicbooks.com. We use that for like a lot of like superhero esque comics. But oh no, what happened? Oh no. Let me see what's going on. Yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah. Um, yeah. So there's ways of reading them now. It's not like there's not ways of reading them. There's ways of reading them now. So I don't know what happened there, but there's ways of reading them. Yes. Not great ways of reading them, but there's ways of reading them. Don't worry, there's ways of reading them. So, um, yeah. So yeah. Oh my gosh, there's such a good series of comics. He engulfed all the things that every kid wants to do as a kid. Like, I want to pretend I'm a dinosaur. I want to have gross get rid of slimy girls. I want to make snowman. And every kid had that stuffed animal that they believed was alive. Every kid had that stuffed animal they believed was alive, whether it was a stuffed thing. The other thing about Calvin Hobbes was Bill Watterson was very clear on the fact that there should not be, in any way, any merchandising whatsoever. There is one calendar and one something else. I know there's a calendar, but there's two things ever, and everyone got up in arms for one reason and one reason only. Why couldn't you make a stuffed animal? It doesn't change. It doesn't take away from how Hobbes can be. You can make Hobbes whatever you want. You just never made a Hobbes stuffed animal. Everyone was like, why? And then you see all the 3D animation of them making like cartoons, or maybe I don't know if it's 2D or 3D, but like, and like you're like that could have been a Saturday morning cartoon. That would have been so cool. Like I found one once, and I was like, this is amazing. This is absolutely fantastic. I don't know why, but it's absolutely fantastic. Oh, it was on Instagram and now it's gone. So I'm like, oh no. But anyway, it was fantastic. It was like this is a legit Saturday morning cartoons. It would have been amazing, but they didn't do any of that. They made video games, like fake video games and fake songs, fake TV shows, and fake this. The problem is they didn't want to ever like humanize Calvin. They just want to make him like real and have like somebody voice him because it would have ended up like he also said I think Bill Watterson, because they go to a convention here, used to go to a convention every year at a university. I don't remember which one, but it would be like a comic book convention, and all the big comic strip writers are there. And he made a big presentation, like a speech to them, and basically said, when your comic book characters, when your characters are, when your characters are in car insurance commercials, you've gone a little too far. When you're frickin' Garfield on literally everything, you've gone a little too far. See, I don't know if you've seen that like Calvin peeing on like decals for your car, like window stickers. They're like it's either peeing on a different brand or peeing on like a corpse of some guy or peeing whatever. It's just peeing on something. See, those are fake. But that's the thing. Everyone wants things like that. Everyone's ready to be like, no, but I want something like that. I want that. I want that. Why can't you just give me that? Just because they never did. And everyone makes fake stuff, whether it's enamel pins or stuffed animals or t-shirts or whatever. So technically none of those should exist, but they're really cool when you buy them. Like posters. Oh my god. Calendars. Oh, it's so cool. But yes, see, I never loved them as a kid. I read them all, but as a kid, I was or not the Sunday morning, not the Sunday ones. the big ones, like the thick ones. I did read all of the like regular ones. Oh man, they're so cool. They were like really cool as a kid. I was like childhood. Oh, anyway, that's my review of the Calvin Hobbes. They're just amazing. They're quintessential. Every kid should read them. Another series that you should read if you ask me what do I read? I want to read good books. Oh, they're great. I think the top three for me are Calvin and Hobbes number one, Garfield number two, and then Dilbert number three. I think Dilbert is really a good um set of comics. Yeah, I Dilbert books somewhere around here. I have a big Dilbert like anthology or like not anthology, but like a compilation, I guess you call them. I don't know. This one's the authoritative Calvin and Hobbes, a Calvin and Hobbes treasury by Bill Watterson. Includes cartoons from Yukon Ho and weirdos from another planet. Okay, if you want a good documentary, you watch is it Searching for Bill Watterson? Where are you, Mr. Watterson? Something like that. Where is it? Tubi, Tubi, Tubi. I don't have Tubi TV anymore. Fucking suck. Get Tubi. Anyway, it's like looking for Mr. I'll get the right name, but it's looking for Mr. Watterson or it's like searching for Mr. Watterson or where are you, Mr. Watterson or come on, Mr. Watterson, something like that. Something to that effect. It's like where are you, Mr. Watterson or something like that. Oh, it's a really it's the like you need to watch it if you like Calvin and Hobbes, you have to watch it. It's no, I need that. Oh wow. Okay. Okay, get rid of this. I am trying to get some space on my phone, but it's called. Drop something there. Freaking. Oh, give me a sec. I need. Oh, maybe not actually. Maybe docs. I don't want Morse code. Boop 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 boop. PSP maybe, and then yeah. So, sorry for the dead air, but I'm trying to download the right thing to BTV. It's something like that. But anyway, it's like it's this guy basically. He kind of looks like Calvin too, and he's kind of I think he was born around the same time, 85, or he was like the same age at 85. Anyway, 6 or 7. Anyway, it was him. Okay, and basically he goes around trying to look for Mr. Water. It wasn't even. Oh, thank you, Mr. Watterson. I think it was called. I think it was like thank you, Mr. Watterson, something like that. Something to that effect. It was such, such, such a good documentary. It was so good. You can get it free on Tubi TV. So if you want to watch it, it's free on Tubi TV. Right, TUBI TV.com or get the app or whatever. But yes, it's like the best it's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen just because I love the subject so much. They go into detail about like the old cartoon like strips and the old things from like they have them in archives and in museums and it's like a comic book archive museum. Oh, strip archive museum. So it's so good. Oh, it's just great. Like he knew what he was doing making that documentary. It's great. You know when people there's two types of people who make documentaries. There's the people who know what they're doing and the people who are just like who are no. There's the people who are involved or connected or loved that thing. Say like board games or cars or I watched a documentary on like it was called Man in the Machine with Steve Jobs. They like you knew people who were like invested in that man, right? In whatever he did and all this stuff, right? Right? But then you have people who are like animals or whatever, and you're like video games. Like I don't really care. I know it'll make money though. I know I can get people who do. See, there you go. Let's open it up. Get 2B TV. It would be right about where is it? Right about here. Okay. We'll go here. We'll go here. We'll open it up, and I think it's called Thank You, Mr. Watterson, something like that. Oh, so good. Searching for Bill Watterson. So where is it? No, I need. Actually, I need. Do by genre. Documentaries. Haha. Oh shit. Can't see. It's called Dear Mr. Watterson. I'll read the. Yes, I get it. Documentary about the impact of the newspaper comic strip Calvin and Hobbes, created by Bill Watterson. Oh my. Star Wars versus Star Trek, the rivalry continues. Oh yeah. To this day, that rivalry is still a thing. But anyway, I'm not going into that because I'm going to be here forever. But on the Mass Turkey Day, that's fine. Musket Turkey Day, right? Sorry. Meth, met, met, Musket Turkey Day Marathon. Anyway, so it's thank you, Mr. It's dear Mr. Watterson. Cause it wasn't really a searching for. Now that I think about it, it was more just like a okay, he's in hiding basically now. But anyway, I love that series. So like he went into like all the old towns. He talked to like every comic book strip writer ever, and the impact of Calvin and Hobbes and the ones that are still around, the ones that aren't still around. Whatever. It was great. It's just an amazing thing. If you want a good documentary about that, it's dear Mr. Watterson. I have to say, it's like fantastic. Oh, quick side note, Tubi TV. I think it's because it's free. I've read reviews of Tubi TV. Tubi TV's awful. There's too many ads. It's free. What do you expect? You're not gonna be. It's not gonna be Netflix paying $20 a month to get like premium stuff. No, you're not gonna get your Office or Friends or Seinfeld. You're gonna have to go, or your Stranger Things. You're gonna have to watch some of the crappier movies. Sorry. God. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there because it's like, oh, whatever. But hey, I think it's great, especially for things like documentaries where you never could find these documentaries anywhere else. Really, I wouldn't have. I don't know where to go to find this documentary. I just saw it one day and went, I'm watching this, and I watched it and I went, this is the best documentary I've ever seen. This one, and then if you like, what's his name, Steve Jobs. Well, if you like him or don't like him, depending, it really does depend. Oh, we'll watch that again. Yes, it does depend, but if you're not gonna watch him or you are gonna watch him, right? If you like him or don't like him, it doesn't matter. Watch Man in the Machine because that's we're not talking about documentaries now. I'm just it's a tangent. I have to get this out of my head now. Man in the Machine. Basically, it explains how Steve Jobs is the biggest a-hole boss you'll ever work for. But I mean, that's not what we're talking about. Um, we're talking about Calvin Hobbes. So, Dear Mr. Watterson is the greatest documentary about comic strips ever. So, I think that's gonna be it for now, guys. So, adios.